Now, all week long, we have been covering the Republican slate of statewide candidates, but tonight we are joined by a Democrat who is new to the political scene, and he would like to be New York's next Attorney General. But to do so, Attorney Sean Coffey will have to defeat 4 fellow Democrats and also Republican Dan Donovan. The Coffey campaign is branding the candidate as an Albany outsider, and now he's trying to distinguish himself as the biggest reformer in the bunch. We learned this week that he will reject the Working Families Party and Independence Party lines, and he's also challenging his competitors to do the same. That is actually not all, though. Coffey is here tonight to talk about his plan for requiring full disclosure by legislators to prevent future pay-to-play scandals in Albany. It's nice to see you, Sean. How are you?
It's great to be with you, Liz.
So let's get right to that. That's actually is going to put you at odds with probably, well, I don't know, 211 people in Albany.
Well, there will be some people who will be upset about it, but I think a good number of them agree it's the right thing to do. There are a number of fundamental reform changes we need in Albany in order to get machinery of government working again, and more important, to get New Yorkers having more faith in their state government, because they don't right now. And one of the key elements of our reform agenda is full disclosure by legislators. By that I mean we need to know what they are paid specifically by their outside jobs and who their clients are. Who are they working for at the same time they're supposedly working for the people of New York? And I think the vast majority of our legislators would agree that that's the right thing to do. They made a half-hearted effort in a way earlier this year. There's still time in this session, so I think any responsible ethics bill has to include full disclosure of both compensation and clients. And I invite my competitors to join me in that call.
Okay, so there's actually a couple things there. First of all, among your competitors are 2 legislators, Senator Eric Schneiderman and Assemblyman Richard Brodsky. So this would directly affect them, although I'm not sure how much outside business interest each of them have, but they are supported by people, specifically Shelley Silver, the Assembly Speaker, who is of counsel at a very powerful firm, Whites and Luxembourg, and then the Democratic Conference leader, John Sampson, who is of counsel at a Brooklyn law firm, whose name actually escapes me at the moment, but he also would have to do that. For full disclosure, there are some people who say, why not just make them full-time, period, and increase the pay? Because right now the base pay is $79.5, which doesn't include those stipends, those Lulus. What do you think about that? And then say no moonlighting, forget it.
Well, I think it's something to be studied, but that's a fundamental change. I think the theory is sort of not to be male-oriented, but gentleman legislator, right, going back to the days of the early days of the Republic. The idea that the best way to make laws is to have people who actually have a foot in reality outside of Albany. But I think we're at a different point in our history, so I do think having full-time legislators is something worth talking about, because it is one way to solve the problem. I'm talking about